Marie was abused at a convent in Merseyside when she was just 6 years old. Now, aged 71, she's still fighting for compensation.
She would get in my bed at night and say, "Oh, this is how you kiss a man." And so she would force herself on me, put a tongue inside my mouth. And she's saying, "And you do this and you do that." And I thought, is this my life now?
Police investigated claims of abuse at the convent, which has now closed. But in 2016, a suspect died before charges could be brought. Marie has received an apology from the Catholic Church, who ran the home. She tried to sue them, but her claim was rejected because it was filed too long after the abuse. The government is changing the law for sexual abuse victims trying to sue for damages. Previously, people had to make a claim before they were 21. With that time limit removed, it could open the gates for victims making claims. But campaigners worry that when it comes to historical abuse, institutions will still argue that it's impossible to have a fair trial and will fight to have the case thrown out of court. The president of the Association of Child Abuse Lawyers says this is one of the reasons why a national compensation scheme is needed.
I feel let down that a Conservative government would bring in the redress scheme for the victims of child abuse and a Labour government have dismissed it. Whilst I welcome the change in the law to abolish limitation, there are many other ways in which a child abuse victim can lose in the civil courts, whereas with the redress scheme be quicker, much more straightforward and much more likely to give justice to the victims.
The independent inquiry into child sexual abuse gave 20 recommendations, including a redress scheme. Scotland and Northern Ireland have both opened up compensation schemes for people who were abused as children, paying hundreds of millions of pounds to victims. In 2023, the Conservative Home Secretary committed to one for England and Wales, but now it's quietly been ruled out. The latest Home Office report on tackling child sexual abuse says the government is not currently taking forward any further steps on the inquiry's proposal for a separate national financial redress scheme for all victims and survivors of child sexual abuse. We recognise that in the current fiscal environment, this recommendation is very difficult to take forward. For adults who experience childhood abuse, compensation is more than just financial.
The money is about justice and about all the other people who have had to suffer this. It takes something out of you and you're not the same person. You can't be.
The government says they are delivering recommendations from the independent inquiry, but with no compensation scheme, victims could still lose out. Alice Porter, Sky News.